How can we remain awake during meditation?
I think it's all a question of how focused we are in what we're doing. Let's say we have a full night's sleep, We get up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we have breakfast, we're not sleeping at that time. We drive to work, we're not sleeping at that time. We go to work, we work there, we're not sleeping at that time. If we're not going out, there's sports game coming, we're watching TV, we're not sleeping at that time. So why are we sleeping when we are meditating? Because we're not giving importance to meditation. I think the key that we all forget is we think like meditation is like a work that we have to do. We've been given the homework that we need to meditate for so long every day. So to us it looks like a homework, that it needs to be done, we're forced into it, otherwise this won't happen. But we should look at what is the real reason of meditating. When we meditate, we are trying to be closer to God. We want to experience the love of God. Okay. Now think of it like this. If your beloved were to come to meet you, would you be sleeping at that time? It could be 11 o'clock in the daytime, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning. You would be wide awake if you're going to meet your beloved. And there's no greater beloved than God. God is our eternal beloved. We as souls are lovers of God. And so, once we understand the true purpose of meditation, then there's no question of sleep coming in. Then actually sleep goes away. All night long you can't sleep because you want to see God. And when you read the verses of great saints and mystics, they're talking about, all 24 hours a day I can't sleep, I can't move, I can't do this, I can't do that. Why? Because I'm thinking about you, God. So it's a question of realizing what the practice of meditation is all about. And so once we realize that the practice of meditation is to experience the love of God, once we realize that the practice of meditation is to meet our eternal beloved God, once we realize that the practice of meditation will put us in the states of bliss like we've never experienced before, then we will never fall asleep. So the question is to remind ourselves of the true purpose of meditation. Meditation not only for, many times in this day and age people are talking about, our concentration gets better, our physical health is better. Those are all like offshoots. The real reason to meditate is to know God, is to experience God's love, is to have the love of God like impregnate each and every pore of our being so that the love of God flows from us to everyone else. It makes this whole environment more beautiful, more loving, more caring, more joyful. And so once we remember the true purpose of meditation, then definitely sleep is not going to come in the way.
How can young adults who have to balance many obligations make time for spiritual practices?
I think every generation feels that they have a more difficult time than the generations before. It's very interesting. The young adults of today maybe feel like so much of their time and attention goes into doing whatever they think is important. And then if they get married, or when they get married and they have children, and they might have 1 or 2 kids, it looks like such a big chore for them to raise 1 or 2 kids. And you start to wonder, what happened in the families where there used to be 8 or 10 kids, which was just maybe 50 or 100 years ago. 3, 4, 5 kids were very common, but 8 or 10 was also not that far away. And the thing to understand is that in every generation, things are not as easy as they sound later on. Granted that today there is much more interaction, that an individual goes through. But if we start to look at, let's say, the life before the television came in. Okay. So before the television came in, most families, when you're a young adult, you're studying, and after studying, if you get married, you have a child or two, and then you're dealing with life. If you have children, you send the children out to play right in the neighborhood where you have a playground. Okay. So the parents are in the house and children go to the playground, just like half a block away. Every neighborhood has some kind of a playground. Today, to make your child go and play, you have to first take them to this tennis class, then you have to take them to the swimming class, then you have to take them to a basketball class, then you got this chess club, So as a parent, you're running from here to there to there to there, because gone are these neighborhoods where children used to play. Also, they might be playing more on their electronic devices than ever before, and the parents have to watch what is it that they're doing. Okay? So the attention of the parents of the children today is much more than it used to be in the days before, because of the setup of the activities. But even then, it is not like as a young adult you were free. You still went to school, you had your responsibilities, and you found time to meditate. And what is very interesting is, as seva, or selfless service is done to relieve some difficulty for someone else. We help someone because we want to help them so that their life gets better. That's what seva is all about, And they have this saying that if you want a job to be done, give it to the person who's the busiest. Because the busy people will find way to get something extra done in their own day-to-day activities. So the question is to look at our time and manage it well. We all have the same 24 hours a day. And so if you're a young adult, then you should manage your time properly. You need to see how much time do you need to give to this activity, how much time do you need to give to that activity. You need to chalk down all your activities, and then if you have the zeal and passion to help, then you will find the time to help. It's just a question of not overindulging in any one activity. There were things in the past too where people would overindulge and then they won't be able to do anything else. So we as individuals always feel like things are more difficult for us. The grass is greener on the other side. And as a young adult you might think, oh, maybe in the old days they had much more time. The societies were different, there's no doubt. Because of so much communication today, I think we're bombarded with a lot of information which is useless. But we have to deal with it. Because in the old times there's no TV, so there's no question of spending any time there. Before the internet, there's no internet, so all you do is you saw some programs on TV done. Now what happens is, you can go any day and you can watch any program which was done yesterday, day before, because it's still sitting someplace, and you can get it from there to see it if you really want to see it. So there's much more information available to you. In the old days, if something came on TV, it came and it's gone. There's no recording, there's nothing, right? So if you want to see it, you see it at that time. If you can't see it, you can't see it. Today, if there's a program, you can't see it, you just program it and you get it somewhere. And so it's like you're spending so much time on some of these things which you think are entertaining you. I mean, you're watching TV to be entertained, but then it takes much longer than you do. It's the same thing with the internet. Internet is very good in many, many ways, but look at how much time it takes too. Because let's say you're searching for a pair of pants, Pretty soon they'll say, oh, this new shirt has come out. Now, oh boy, you got this new line of jacket which will go with you. And now you got this new shoe which is better than the sneakers. He said, what is better than the sneaker? You get in there, it takes half an hour. And you find there's nothing. Oh, it might be something, but it's like you look for one thing, but it takes so much longer because so many other things come to you. And sometimes It's just like when you go shopping, if you don't have a planned list of things to get when you buy groceries, you buy so much junk. Because you say, this looks good, this looks good, this looks good. They advertise it so nicely, everything looks good there, till it gets to you, and then you have to decide whether you like it or not. But there's like so much other information that gets sent to you, so it takes time. It takes time away from you. So one needs to be very focused on being able to use your time properly. And the people who manage their time properly are the ones who are successful. And so in every day and age, there's always difficulties. There's always work to be done, whether we're a young adult, whether we're a child, whether we become an elderly person. We all have our responsibilities, we all have our work to do, and we have to see what is important to us. And so if we feel that helping someone is important to us, if we realize that helping someone is going to be spiritually good for us, if we realize that helping someone brings so much joys and benefits to us that we can't even put that on paper, then we'll find the time to do it. The key is, if you look at the people who do that, what is it that is common for them? The first is they enjoy helping someone. So you need to enjoy it. You can't think of, this is like a chore, I have to do it. No, then you'll never do it. You have to enjoy helping someone. And if you enjoy something, then you would find the time to do it. And so the key is to get to that state to be able to enjoy helping someone. So how do you get to that state? When you get to realize that that person is an extension of you. If you think of the person as a stranger and not connected, you might not do anything for them. But once you get to the state when you realize they're an extension of you, then you try to help them. And how does that happen? When you meditate. So the answer to every question is meditation. And we can go here and there and get you to that point. Because if you meditate, then you experience the light of God. When you experience the light of God, you know, I can see it, so can everyone else also. You say, oh boy, that guy has the light of God in it too. Not different than me. So once they're not different, then let me help them. They're my extension, right? If something goes wrong with your hand, you're going to fix it. If you put like band-aid or whatever you do. So why? Because this is your hand. Okay. So if you're having pain, so when you find the pain in someone else, whether it's physical, emotional, any kind of pain, then you want to help them. Why? Because you feel your extension. And how do you get there? When you meditate. So I would tell the young people to meditate a little longer. And this question, the person who has the question and everyone else who has similar questions, that as they meditate, from inside they will get a good feeling of being connected to the Creator. And as they get that good feeling within, then they want to help someone. And as they want to help someone, there's enjoyment in that help. And when there's enjoyment in that help, then automatically everything else will settle. You know, you have to balance the time. So as a young adult, you might be in college, you might be studying, so the studies become very important. As you get married, then you have to give time to your spouses. As you have children, you have to give time to your children. But then you have to balance them. You can't use 24 hours of your time just in doing those things and forget about God. Because who's more important than any one of these? Is God. God is more important than anyone else in the world. So if we don't find time for God, then what are we doing in life? So it's a question of prioritizing our life. And so it's a question of focusing in the right direction. And so when we find the connection with God, there's the saying which says, when you take one step towards God, God takes 1,000 steps towards us. It's not that God is far, God is within us. Just like we have so many camouflages on it. We've got so many layers of mind, matter, and illusion. We need to break through them. So when we take a step there, a lot of breakage happens and a lot of openings come in, and we're able to experience more and more of the divine treasures within. So that's the key in life. So we need to take steps in that direction, and we need to prioritize and give it the highest priority. If we do that, everything else will work out well. And to give it the highest priority, we need to meditate to be able to experience, hey, there's something there. God is within us. And that's what we experience as we meditate. Let's meditate for a few minutes. Please sit as comfortably as you can. Close your eyes very gently, just like you close them when you go to sleep. Your eyeballs should be straight, focus 8 or 10 inches in front of you. And as you close your eyes, those of you who have been initiated in the mysteries of the beyond, please do your Simran. And those of you who are new here, please repeat any name of God that you feel comfortable with. This repetition of God's name should be done mentally and not out loud. I pray to God Almighty to help each and every one of us here connect with the divine power within and to experience the divine light of God within. We'll be sitting for a few minutes, and may the blessings of the great spiritual masters of the past century, Hazur Baba Sawan Singh Ji Maharaj, Param Sant Kripal Singh Ji Maharaj, and Dayal Purush Sant Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj, be with each and every one of us and guide us to our goal. I'll be getting you out of this meditative state, and my best wishes are with each and every one of you. Please leave off, छोड़ दीजिए जी.